Hello and welcome to Sansad TV. I'm Shyam Kishore. We are at CSPOC venue and we have with us Dr. Tulia Ackson, the current IPU president, an organization which was founded in 1889 and at present almost 183 parliaments are part of this organization. Dr. Tulia, very welcome to Sansad TV and very welcome to India.
Thank you.
I will begin with a compliment. You gave a very impressive speech in the inaugural session of that CSPOC. Now it is going to complete. How is your whole experience of this CSPOC?
I would say it's very impressive in the sense that the number of attendants who are here, most of the speakers who are members to the CSPOC are here, and also their readiness to share their experiences and is also very impressive. But also the reception has been very nice. We were very excited, and we still are, by the fact that His Excellency Narendra Modi was here to inaugurate this meeting. So everybody was happy to see him, but also the issues that he raised when he was talking to us. So we were very happy. So my general impression is that, yes, the speakers are looking forward to learning from each other, but also sharing their experiences, and that is going to help them, I believe, in their respective jurisdictions of how things that we'll be discussing here, but also resolutions and motions that are going to be agreed upon, how that will be translated in their own countries and how it's going to change the people that they represent.
Yesterday, our Prime Minister said so many things. He said that we are the mother of democracy.
Yes.
And for us, democracy means delivery to the last mile. And in fact, he gave all the credit of the development which India is making at present to that democratic fervor that is there, very inherent in our nature and culture and practice. That is since ages. How do you look towards that, a sense that we are mother of democracy?
Well, it was great actually to learn from him or to hear from him. A number of us have read here and there how things are done here, but to learn from the largest democracy and how things are done here, you get that experience. First, elections are not done in one day because of the mass that go to vote, but also I think the Prime Minister addressed in a way the issue of how things are organized here to make sure that people who would like to participate in this democratic process, the country puts at their disposal the means to do that. The fact that more than 700 political parties will participate in an election, it's unheard of, but it's possible here in India. And the fact that you have millions of people being voted for, not just the voters, registered, who registered to vote. That's something really impressive. So when we say India is the mother of democracy, maybe they are grandparents, but the mother has done well. So he also told us the sheer number of registered voters going to about 900 million. I mean, when you hear these numbers, they're really huge. So it was great. But also the fact that in the world generally we are experiencing the mistrust of public institutions, but here the fact that you would have such number of people being interested in participating in the democratic processes is very impressive. So I would say the fact that he talked about that, and we are parliamentarians, we are people's representatives, I think that helps us to learn from India and how things are done here, and try to see how we can also engage public participation in our own countries. And as president of IPU, of course, these experiences will be shared to the other parliaments which are not necessarily members of the Commonwealth. So it was great that he said that. But also, you raised one point which he talked about. Democracy is not just people being able to vote or people believing in the process of voting, but it's the fact that this trusts in public institutions is when these institutions are able to deliver to the people's expectations, to the people's visions, so to speak. One of the areas that he mentioned was the delivery of social services to the last man standing. I think if the meaning was not lost in translation, I think that's what he said. So
the last mile means to the person who is needing.
Yes. So
to reach to that point.
Yeah. So that was that was a very good point to hear from him, because in the end, democracy is there to serve people. If democracy doesn't serve the people, then it doesn't make sense. And he used the example of India's leading role in the medicine area, especially on the production of vaccines, and he mentioned the challenges that the world went through during the corona time. It means that, you know, India, apart from being mother of democracy, is working towards becoming a mother of many things, including in the medicine area.
Getting cue from your answer, India has been extending its support to all the developing countries. Our Prime Minister has raised many a time the cause of Global South. Last year, he made an instrumental role in getting African Union in P20. So, keeping all these things at the backdrop, how do you see his role in the changing global scenario, like a global leader?
Well, like the examples that I've just given, I think India is placing itself in a unifying country, but also, you know, it is a global player already in a number of aspects, but it is also becoming a global player in other fields which wouldn't otherwise have been, you know, thought in a way that India could lead. And one of those areas is the area of health. You know, there are people not just in the area of vaccines that we have talked about, the example of what we went through as the world in the corona time, but India is leading in terms of health provision, not just to its people, but to the people of the world. When people from different parts of the world come here. So I think this is also telling us in other spheres of life, but particularly on the issue that you have talked about, the political side of it, in terms of engaging other blocs. In the world where the politics are dividing us, but also the world is becoming polarized depending on which bloc you would want to side with. But India is placing itself in a way that is trying to unify these different blocs. And here you mentioned the specific efforts of trying to engage other players to the P20 and also G20, and I think India is playing that role as well. So the fact that Africa as a bloc is you know, being recognized, but also the fact that they are being invited to participate in different forums, I think that is bringing the voice of these many, more than 50 countries to the table. And I think that means India is providing a platform where these issues will be hard, but also will be worked on, so that there is nobody who is left behind, not just in India, but in the world.
Okay. In our scriptures, like in Veds, Upanishads and Purans, which are supposed to be the oldest ever document of human history, it says that Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, a term which means that the whole globe is one family. Puri Vasudha, the whole of the earth is one family. And the acts and practices of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji is true embodiment of that slogan. He makes it a point to extend all helps in need, basically the developing countries and smaller countries. How do you see that aspect of our Prime Minister?
Well, I think it's something that, well, has to be learned by other global leaders. But I think the most important point is that he is doing that at home first in India by trying to reach to the common man on the street. And so that now when it is being extended to the world, when it is being extended to other developing countries, then you're able to tell his efforts in the country, but his efforts in other countries as well. So you have talked about he's going outside the borders of India to assist other countries, and I've seen that help going in different countries, in different areas. We just spoke about the health issues here. But in other areas also, industrialization, in areas of agriculture, in areas of trade, in areas of technology, and the fact that India is placing itself in a way that is making these things more accessible in terms of pricing, you know, because even we talked about many people in the world coming here for their treatment or for health issues. It's because it's affordable here. And it's not only affordable to the people from outside India, it's affordable to the people of India, to the Indians, but also it is affordable to other countries, that other people from other countries would like to access that. So it's the same in other areas as well. You talk about science and technology, you talk about infrastructure, you talk about agriculture, you talk about education. So in every sector, India is taking a leading role, and we are happy that the Prime Minister is playing a very central role in this. But also, he has availed himself. He has visited a number of countries, yes. A number of developing countries, and his visits to those countries has led to India entering into different agreements with those countries, you know, cooperation agreement, bilateral agreements, multilateral agreements. So it's very impressive that His Excellency Narendra Modi is doing this, and we really appreciate. And as you introduced me as a president of IPU, because we are a global parliamentary organization, and we really, as we represent people, we really like the executive side of it, delivering to the people, and that assists us as people's representatives to, you know, to see that people are developing from one level of personal life, but also countries, from one level to the other one. So His Excellency, the Prime Minister of India, is taking a leading role in this, and we are very happy. We are very happy that he's doing that.
Just a tail question related to this only, like in the changing global scenario, and like in the conflict resolution segment as well, countries are approaching, countries are looking towards our Prime Minister, and they feel that he can make some peace, he can have some say, and those interventions would be accepted by all the parties. How you look towards?
Well, I would say His Excellency, what he has done is actually, it's not like he's placing himself and India on the right side of history, but it's a good thing that we are seeing the positive impact of his efforts towards peace and security, and because we are a global organization of parliamentarians, but also parliaments. We also give a lot of emphasis on peace and security, because we know there can't be development if people are not at peace, but also they don't feel secure. And that said, we also take cognizance of his efforts in that area, and the fact that, you know, the parties or the warring parties are able to put trust in him. It means they have seen his efforts. They have seen that he's not really taking sides in a way that would affect the other one, to say I can talk to him or I can avail myself to him. So he's putting India at the, you know, on the best side of history, in the sense that he's putting it on the right side. So, and people putting their trust that, you know, we can trust not just His Excellency, but we can trust India as a nation to play the mediating role, or to play, to give the platform to the warring parties, and then, you know, it's working well. So we are happy, and of course we are proud of, you know, having such a leader in our generation.
You being a woman parliamentarian, yesterday Prime Minister also made presented a number, like in our local bodies, in Panchayat, Zilla Parishad, the format we have in the 3-tier of democracy, almost 1.5 million women representatives are there. You being a woman parliamentarian, how you see the role of CSPOC and IPU specifically towards furthering this cause of making them participate in the process of democracy and even getting into the election format?
Yeah, well, I think first I would like to congratulate His Excellency, but also the society in India in general, for trusting the women. And here I think it's a good example in the sense that women feel secure to participate in election, because in other countries the women will be shunning away because they know what they are going to face during that process. So the fact that they have availed themselves and they have offered themselves to be voted in millions, that's telling a lot about how women are respected here. I also understand, and I am very privileged to have met Her Excellency the President of India. She's a woman, so we are happy to see her also at the helm of leadership. But also we have seen members of parliament who are elected by the people, and in many cases they have had to go against men, and the people voted for them, which is very important for everybody who is here. But also I know at IPU what we do is that we do studies in different countries when they go through election processes, how women participate and how people view women. And as you rightly said, okay, I'm a woman parliamentarian also. So the fact that at IPU we are able to say this country is doing very well in terms of women, not just offering themselves and showing readiness to be elected, but the fact that there are women who are actually elected is telling a lot. So at IPU currently we stand at 27%, that's the global average. But there are some countries which are below that. So we are working harder to assist these countries to enact laws and be able to include women in the democratic processes, so that women are also occupying decision-making positions in those countries. But here, again, back to India, we are very happy that one of the laws that was passed in the new chamber of Parliament was the law that was establishing the minimum threshold of women in Parliament at 32%, so which is above the global average. And we believe with the kinds of democratic processes that are taking place here, we are going to have more and more women in Parliament. And like I said, we have here a woman president here, which is a very good example, because then the girls out there will be looking forward to becoming politicians and also holding higher positions here in India. But because the CSPOC is taking place here, and these are leaders of our parliaments, we have seen so many women speakers who are here. I believe that is also giving a good example to the processes here in India, because we are meeting here, but also globally, because when everybody is talking about CSPOC now, they know we are meeting in Delhi. So we are meeting in Delhi, and then people start following how is it handling its affairs in relation to women empowerment, in relation to women participation in politics. So it's working out very well that we are here, and we can see women holding different positions. So at IPU, what we do is, once we have collected the information, we try to disseminate that information, and part of the reason why I am here to share the experience, the global outlook and experiences of different issues that are here. And once we do that, we try now to reach out to parliaments which are doing well so that they share their experiences with countries that are not doing very well. And we try to reach out to those countries that are not doing very well to try and, advise them how they can change their policies, their laws, their constitution to include women in power. So once again, we're very impressed to be here and to get to say, as India is the mother of democracy, women are there, which is very important for us. And I would like to even add maybe a word or two that India is not just putting a lot of emphasis in women empowerment in terms of uplifting them to participate in political spheres, but also here you have a way of making that politics are inclusive, not just between men and women, but inclusive of all religious sects that are here, but also different castes that are here. So that is very impressive, and it's telling to the whole world that, democracy only works when it's inclusive, not when it excludes other groups.
Thanks, ma'am. One last question. Our speaker, Om Birla ji, he is very much particular about whole of the arrangements, about the hospitality, yes, and the topics which are being discussed. And how do you feel the whole arrangements and how this whole idea of democracy will be furthered through this CSPOC conference under his leadership, our Lok Sabha speaker?
Well, I must say I'm personally very impressed. But also I'll tell you the impression of other speakers that I've met here, or other leaders of parliaments that I've met here. They're all very happy, they're all very impressed, and they're very optimistic about the results of this CSPOC that is being held here. So under the leadership of the Speaker of the Lok Sabha, he has worked so hard, and we have learned here he's very meticulous in everything. So the way we were received, the hospitality that has been there from the time you land here in India, and then the conference organization, and then the topics that have been chosen. I think this will be a very memorable event. Okay, some of the issues that have been discussed here, which will always be associated with His Excellency Speaker Bila of the Lok Sabha, is that we are discussing about different developments that are taking place in the area of science and technology. And here we were discussing about the use of AI, how we can modernize our parliaments in that area. At the same time, we have been able to discuss also the challenges that come with that. So you have different opinions that are being shared here, different views from different speakers. Some of them are more optimistic, some of them were a little pessimistic because, India being the mother of democracy, you can see the challenges also that come with AI. Much as it simplifies work, but the general sense of the meeting is such that we shouldn't just leave that to the technology or to the machines, but we should also put a human face to whatever is coming out of that, because the insistence is on the issue of accuracy and how technology may be at fault at some point, but also the fact that parliaments are people's houses. So at all times, people's faces should be there, but also people's, people's touch should be there. So that has been discussed at length, but also how these can actually affect the democratic processes. So as politicians, we get concerned about that and how human rights may be impaired. And I saw some women coming up with views of how that affects negatively on women participating in politics because of the fakes and deep fakes, and how people are able to produce something and say this is Tulia, and yet Tulia has never said something like that or has never done something like that. So some of these issues, when people go and try to see how they are going to regulate that or even legislate about that, they will always be linking that to the speaker here and how he has organized this particular conference. And other issues, maybe, for instance, we discussed also the security of the members of staff and also members of parliament. So that is also very important, especially now when there are so many threats against the people's representatives. So the members of parliament are threatened here and there, and this is across the board. Both developing and developed countries are facing similar threats. So these are the way the topics were carefully selected. It was under His Excellency's leadership, because he was the chair and he still is. So we are going to have a new chair for the next CISPOC. But for these topics to have been chosen, they are very topical, and I believe everybody will be associating that with the leadership of His Excellency. And so maybe on a light note, we had the program was so well organized. We have had a sense of the cultural differences here in India. We have had the dances, the songs, the food, the teas, the flowers. So it has been very nice, and we are all very happy to be here. And so we live with good impressions, good resolutions, and good things to go with at home.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Tulia Ackson, ma'am, for talking to Sansad TV, and we wish you a happy stay ahead in India. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
We were talking to Dr. Tulia Ackson, IPU President, regarding the overall impression of CSPOC, hospitality. We have extended role of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi as a global leader, and India being mother of democracy. Thanks for watching Sansad TV.